What is going on, everybody? So today I'm back to talk about a film I wanted to catch in the theaters, but I did not get the opportunity to see it before it left the theaters. And that's unfortunate because this looked like it had a great cast and it's produced by A24. I typically try to watch every movie that A24 puts out. And this also starred Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who I really love a lot. And I was really excited to check this movie out. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is You Hurt My Feelings. You Hurt My Feelings is directed by Nicole Holofcener. A novelist's long-standing marriage is suddenly upended when she overhears her husband giving his honest reaction to her latest book. So, I didn't really know what to expect with this movie. I'd never seen anything from this director before, but I do love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I think she is hilarious. I was really excited because this looked like a comedy, and this movie was fine. I mean, it's like the most mid-tier movie that you could possibly watch. It's so low stakes, which I really love slice of life films that are incredibly low stakes. But this movie is an hour and 20 minutes, and it doesn't feel like it ever justifies it being an hour and 20 minutes. Even to just get to the crux of what the film is going for and the conversations that the film wants to have about the relationship between these two characters, it takes so long to get going that once you actually get there, you're just kind of like, all right, well, was this worth the time that I spent getting to that moment? And there are some really charming moments between the lead characters. At the beginning of the film, we're introduced to Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character Beth and her husband Don, played by Tobias Menzies. And Don is a therapist. We see him working at his job early on in the film. David Cross shows up as one of his patients at therapy. He has some pretty funny moments there. And he goes home, meets with Beth. Beth is a writer. She wrote a memoir that was relatively successful, not too crazy. You could tell that it's enough that she can continue to take time to work on books. And she's currently trying to write, I believe it's like a murder mystery or a thriller. And she has issues with her publisher. They're not willing to publish her book, so she's trying to find a different publisher. And at the same time, they have a son who's working at a weed dispensary. They're trying to keep a good relationship with their kid. They're trying to be good parents. They're trying to keep their relationship together. And at the same time, you're introduced to Beth's sister and her husband. Beth's sister works with her at these donation centers for the homeless where they give out clothes together, so they spend a lot of time together. And Beth's sister's husband is an actor. He's worked in a lot of projects, but he's just recently been fired from one. And so one day, Beth and her sister are out hanging out together. Beth's sister's husband and Don are out together as well. Don and Beth's sister's husband are out looking at socks at this store, and so the two women decide that they're going to go surprise them. And when they go in there, Beth hears Don talking negatively about her book. He doesn't think it's good. He doesn't think that she's taken enough time to edit it. And that creates tension in their relationship. And so the remainder of the movie is just kind of watching the relationship between these two characters and how it independently affects both of their work lives and their relationships with other people. And on the surface, that to me is something that I should just eat up and love and enjoy every single second. But there's something about the pacing and the introduction of characters into specific scenes that it just doesn't flow as well as I think that it could have. And I think, making low stakes movies takes a specific type of director to be able to nail perfectly. A slice of life movie I absolutely adore is the film Patterson from Jim Jarmusch. And there's really nothing to that movie other than a guy driving a bus, writing poetry, and seeing snapshots of the relationship between him and his girlfriend, who are living two vastly different lives. But the reason why that film works is because the subject matter coincides with the snapshot of life moments that you're seeing on screen, and it packs a really immense punch when you get to the third act of the film. This is very much just like two people living out their day-to-day lives and getting one specific moment that's a crux moment in their relationship. And I do think those moments between those two actors are really well done. There's a specific scene towards the third act of the film where they're having a very long discussion on their couch. Their son ends up coming into the room, and it's paced out really well, and it's shot really well, and it packs a really good emotional punch. But the bookends of that, where like the whole beginning of the film and then the end of the film after that moment, it just doesn't really do anything to leave you with anything when the movie's over. And when you watch a film, not every movie has to be like deeply emotionally impactful or deeply comedic. Things can be just enjoyable, but I want a movie to stick in my brain that I remember it for a while after I watch it. And honestly, after I've watched this film, I'm like, I'm going to forget this in about a week, which is unfortunate because there is a lot of talent involved. There's a lot of really great people involved. And that's not to say that this movie is bad, because it is not bad. It's just very mid-tier and serviceable. And the entire time I was watching it, I just kept thinking about what it could have been, and it just never got to that point for me, unfortunately. And I definitely watch something else from this director if she worked on another project, because I think there's so many scenes that she does a really great job blocking, getting really great moments from her actors. It just, as a whole cohesive piece, never really worked in the way that I thought it should. And that's unfortunate, because I felt like this movie had a lot of potential, but I probably won't be revisiting this one anytime in the near future. So if you've seen You Hurt My Feelings, did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was very average. I really wanted a lot more out of it, and it really didn't leave a lasting impression on me at all. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.